I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on contractions. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 3, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of contractions. All right, so our chapter is contractions. Our subject is English Language Arts, grade 3. And then the lessons that we're going to be focusing on under the chapter of contractions is pronoun, verb agree, pronouns, verb contractions. All right. So when it comes to contractions, right? Contractions is a shortened form of two words. So contraction is a shortened form of two words. And when it comes to contractions, right, then an apostrophe, it shows where one or more letters are left out. All right. So when it comes to contractions, right, then a contraction can be formed from a pronoun and it um can be formed by a verb. So pronoun and a verb. All right. So once again, we are saying that a contraction, right? It is a shortened form of two words. And we're going to look at the examples now. It says an apostrophe. You see, apostrophe is that little sign over there. Remember, an apostrophe is not a comma, right? It is, let's say, for example, if we were to say don't, then we put that little sign on top. So it's like a comma that's somewhere on top, not at the bottom. All right. And we said that little apostrophe, it shows where one or more letters are left out. And we are going to look at a few examples and then we're going to see how the words are left out, how the letters are left out, and what also the contractions are. All right. So we said a contraction, right? It can be formed from a pronoun as well as a verb, right? So a pronoun as well as a verb. That is how a contraction can basically be formed. All right. So now if we look at contractions, right? We look at the examples over here. So here we have a few examples. I'm going to make it a bit bigger so that we can see it properly. So these are a few examples of contractions, right? It says he is. So he is, that's two words, right? So he is, it's two words. So it says that our contraction, right, is two words. This is our two words, but it is shortened. So we shorten that two words by adding an apostrophe to show where we leave out one word. So when it comes to contractions with pronouns and verb, right, then our pronoun stays the same, right? And remember, our pronoun is either words like he, she, they, um, I, those are pronouns. So this word stays the same, right? So now we're going to leave out the I, for example, in is. So once we leave out the I, we're going to add an apostrophe like we have over there and then our is. All right. So if we were to write it, right? So let's say, for example, once again, we have our contraction he is, right? That is the two words, he is. That is our two words, right? So we said a contraction is a shortened form of the two words, right? And we show, so there's going to be letters that's going to be left out in order for us to join that two words, right? We said the pronoun stays the same. So he's going to say the same, she's going to say the same, they're going to say the same, I am going to say the same, right? So when we, for example, were to show a contraction, right, of he is, then he stays the same. Now we look at the word, the verb, right? We're going to leave out the I in is. We're going to add the apostrophe over there, and then we're just going to add the rest of our letters, which is S, right? So the same with she is, right? It is two words, so which means that we need to find the contraction of that word. So the pronoun she is going to stay the same. We're going to leave out I in is, we're going to add an apostrophe, and then we're going to add the S, right? So which means that he is, the contraction is his, she is, our contraction is she's, they are, our contractions are they are. It's like saying they are. I am is I'm, right? So these are our contractions. And we said our contractions are, we have our pronouns, which is he, she, they, I, right? And we have our verb, but with the verb, we're going to leave out a specific letter, right? Or letters, right? And then we add the apostrophe and the rest of our letters. Yes, that is correct. So the word wouldn't, right? It comes now to our next one. So wooden is over here where it says that a contraction is a shortened form, right? We said that. Here we said in most contractions. So we said a contraction can also be formed with the verb and the word not, right? So that is where wooden comes in. In most contractions with not, the spelling of the verb does not change and the apostrophe takes the place of the O. So let's say, for example, wouldn't, right? So you said wouldn't is our contraction, right? Which is totally correct, right? And wouldn't is would not, right? So well done. Yes, we've is we have, we're is we are, right? So would not, as you can see, we leave the verb as is, right? We leave the verb as is, and then we only going to remove the O, and then we put the apostrophe in the O, but all the other letters, all of this comes together. They've, or we've, meaning they have, we have, and that is correct. Yes, she'll, for she will, he will, and couldn't. So couldn't, right, is could not. So well done. But don't forget to add your T there, not the Y. Just double check that, Nanny. I think Hussein wants to say, Hussein, do you want to say don't? Or do you want to say didn't? Which one do you want to say, Hussein? Don't or didn't? No, you don't, or no, you didn't. Which one? Isn't is correct, right? So these are our contractions, right? And we said contractions is a shortened form of two words, right? And an apostrophe, it shows where one or more letters are left out. Even if we leave more than one letters out, right? You only add one apostrophe to that word. We don't add more than one apostrophe to the word. So don't is correct, but remember you need to use this little sign, not this sign. So just double check on your keypad for this sign that looks like a comma but somewhere on top. So not the inverted comma sign. But well done. Don't is correct. All lower cases. So didn't is correct, which means it's did not. Haven't is correct, which is have not. Don't is also correct, which means it is do not. So well done. So well done. All right, so then we also have is not. So is not, if we were to shorten that to word, then it would be isn't. And just look where we add the apostrophes, right? Then we have were not. And if we were to join that two words, then it would be weren't. And there we add the apostrophe. Wasn't is correct because it's was not. There we have wasn't, was not. So wasn't, right? Are not, right? It's our two words. If we were to add the two words together, remove the O, then it would be aren't. Have not is haven't. So well done. Yes, will, right? So will is short for we will, right? So all we did was with will, we left out both W and I, and then we got will. All right. So now we're going to aplusstudents.ca, and we're going to do our chapter on contractions, and we're going to pronoun verb contractions. All right, so once again, we see the contraction is a shortened form of two words, right? And an apostrophe, it shows us where one or more of our letters are left out. And we say that contraction can be formed from a pronoun and a verb. The pronoun will stay the same. So we will then shorten the verb. We will leave out words by the verb and then add our apostrophe over there. Remember, even if we remove more than one word, right? We only add one apostrophe. You don't add more than one apostrophe when you remove more than one word. All right, so now if we look at the sentence, right, we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. It says, if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? What is our contraction within that sentence? She is. What is the contraction of she is? What is the shortened form of she is? Guys, y'all are having a whole argument in our class, basically. You guys are having a whole fight, a whole argument in our class, and you're basically disrespecting and you are disrupting the other students. And I feel like every time we have class, I speak to the very same people over and over. And I have really been trying to be very nice by not reporting you guys, by not letting your parents know. But it seems like you guys are continuing, and I think today I'm going to do that. I'm going to jot down all of the names of you guys who are not listening in class, and I'm going to report you guys because here are 20 students that are viewing or listening, and there's literally less than five of you that are fighting in our chat. And you're disrupting the others that are here to listen, that are here to learn. So if any person is going to say anything else other than what we are doing now, I am honestly going to remove you, and I'm going to report you, and I'm going to call into our offices, and we are going to remove you from the session, right? Because there's others that are here trying to listen. I'm sure some of you are even sitting with your parents, and the others are literally having a whole fight and conversation under the chats. So it is extremely unfair. So if you do not want to be part of the class, then please log out, but do not make it unpleasant for others that are here to learn. And thank you very much to those who's been listening. And it's very hard for me to even continue because now I'm literally looking down at the comments. Others are leaving the chat or leaving the live because of the others that is making it unpleasant. All right, so I'm going to continue, right? So remember we said a contraction is a shortened form of two words, right? And an apostrophe should be added, and it shows where one or more letters are left out. And I said that if you remove one letter, or let's say more than one letter, it doesn't mean that you need to put more than one apostrophe. You only add one apostrophe, right? So we're going to add one apostrophe wherever we remove the letters. So we said we now need to look at the word in bracket, and we need to um, give the contraction of that word. So it says, if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? Thank you. All right, so we can say if she's, right? And there we add our apostrophe. So if she's not sitting in that seat, may I? So she's is our contraction, which is shortened for she is, right? Let's look at another one. It says, I think you are the best piano player I know. So you are. We need to shorten that two words. Remember, we keep the pronoun, and the pronoun is you. So I think you are the best piano player. We need to find, or we need to write or the correct contraction. You are. Yes, well done. So you are is you were. Right? So well done. You are is correct because now it says, I think you're the best piano player I know. So you don't have to say you are. So well done. All right, and let's look at the last one and then we're going to our test. It says, Coach Dickerson says, I am a good baseball player. So Coach Dickerson says, I am a good baseball player. All right, and if we were to identify or to write down our contraction, then yes, well done. We say I, and remember capital letter I, apostrophe, oh, sorry, I'm without the M. So apostrophe and M. So I'm. So well done. I'm is correct. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to complete the sentence with the correct contractions, pronoun, verb, contractions. All right, so look at the word in bracket, right? Then we need to choose the best option to complete our correct contraction. So it says, we are interested in learning more about hawks and eagles. So we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. Is it option one, which is we are, or is it option two, which is we're? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, we would say it is option two. So well done, because it's we're, right? All right, let's look at the next one. The next one says, when it is quiet at night, I can hear owls. So when it is quiet at night, I can hear owls. Do we say when it is option one or when it's option two? So it's option two or it is option one. So it is, which is option one, or it's option two. All right, and if we were to choose the correct contraction, then yes, we would choose option two, which is it's. And it's is correct. Well done. Option two is correct. All right, we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. It says, if you are going to the beach, may I come too? So, if you are going to the beach, may I come too? So, is it option one, you are, or option two, you are? So, if option one, you are, or if option two, If you are going to the beach, may I come too? Which option is correct? All right, and we would choose the correct option. Then we would say your, and your is option 2. So if you're going to the beach, may I come too? So well done, great job. All right, let's go to the next one. It says kangaroos have strong back legs and they are fast hoppers. So kangaroos have strong back legs and they are fast hoppers. We need to choose the correct option. Is it option 1, they are fast hoppers, or option 2, they are fast hoppers? So kangaroos have strong back legs. And do we say they are fast hoppers or they are fast hoppers? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, we would choose option 2, because then that is the contraction that is shortened for they are. So they are fast hoppers. All right, let's choose the next one and then we go on to verbs. It says, if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? So if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? Is it she is or do we say she's? Do we say if she is not sitting in that seat, may I? Or do we say if she's not sitting in that seat, may I? All right, so we will say if she's. So option 2 is correct. Yes, it seems like everything is option 2. So if she's not sitting in that seat, may I? So well done. That is correct, right? All right, so now we're going on to the lesson where we say contractions with not, right? That is our words like wouldn't, um, don't, couldn't, right? Shouldn't, right? Isn't, haven't. It's words with not, right? Or contractions with not. It says we need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. But before we go to that, we said a contraction can be formed from a verb also and the word not, right? And in most contractions with not, the spelling of the verb does not change. So we then put the apostrophe will take the place of the O. So we will remove the O within not, and that is where we will add the apostrophe before we add all of our words together to shorten it, right? And we have an example. So is not, you see in blue, we can remove the O, put the apostrophe in its place, and when we add those words together, it means isn't. The same with were not, we remove the O within that sentence, we add an apostrophe, then it's weren't, right? Were not, weren't. All right, so now look at this at these sentences. All right. It says Dad said his phone is not working. What is the contraction within that sentence? Is not. What is the contraction is not? Yes, didn't is also correct because it's did not. So Dad said his phone is not working. We need to look at the contraction or find the contraction. Remember, we put the apostrophe when we remove the O in not. All right, so we can then say isn't, right? So it's I S N. We remove the O, put the apostrophe there, isn't, right? So that is correct. We have not tried that cheese before. We have not tried that cheese before. What is the contraction within that sentence? Yes. So we have not is haven't. Some of you already gave me the answer. And then was not is wasn't. Right? So well done. That is correct. Right? All right. So now let's go to our test before we end off our lesson. So the test with contractions with not. All right, it says mom and dad were not surprised when Annie left early. So mom and dad were not surprised when Annie left early. So we need to look at the correct contractions. Is it were not option one? Is it option two or option three? We need to choose the correct contraction, option one, two, or three. All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, we will go with option three, right? Because mom and dad weren't surprised when Annie left early. So well done. Option three is correct. All right. Josie or let's say Josie was not finished with her story about horses. So was not. Is it option one, which is was not, or option two, wasn't? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yeah, wasn't. Option two is correct. So well done. So Josie wasn't finished with a story about horses. So well done. Option two or wasn't. Let's go to the next one. It says Maggie is not the only one who forgot her notebook. So Maggie is not the only one who forgot her notebook. So do we say is not, which is option two, one, sorry, or isn't option two? We are going to end in 3 minutes time. So Maggie is not, is it option one or option two? We need to look at the contraction. All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we can say Maggie isn't, which is option two, the only one who forgot her notebook. Right? So well done. Isn't is correct. All right, let's do two more. It says the sailors are not leaving until early tomorrow morning. So the sailors are not leaving until early tomorrow morning. Do you say are not, which is option one, or aren't, option two? We need to choose the contraction to complete the sentence. So the sailors are not leaving until early tomorrow morning. Which option? And if we were to choose the correct one, we would say sailors aren't, which is option two, leaving until tomorrow morning. All right, let's do the last one. It says, I have not seen a butterfly like that before. So I have not seen a butterfly like that before. So is it option one, have not, or option two, haven't? We need to complete the sentence with the correct contraction. Yes, there will be classes during the summer. There will be classes during the summer, guys. All right, so we can say I haven't, which is option two, seen a butterfly like that before. So well done. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on contractions. We said contractions are a shortened form of the two words, right? And we need to, let's say, remove one or more of those words, and then we add the apostrophe in that, and that is basically to shorten the words. We have pronoun verb contractions as well as contractions with not. All right, so before I greet, yes, we are having classes during the summer break. Um, we were still going to follow the same, let's say, the same timetable of which grades are supposed to be on which specific days. So yeah. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade threes. You should have a good evening further. Goodbye. I'm honestly not sure, but there is going to be classes during summer break. I think it will basically be up to your parents if you guys are going to log in or not. I'm honestly not sure. All right, see you guys. Goodbye.